Well, I'm basically going to perform plagiarism here because I'm not looking for sponsors. I can only tell you what has worked for people I've interviewed, and as you mentioned, I've interviewed 878 so far.
Wow.
So yeah,
Congratulations.
I had to look it up. I can't keep track. But what one of the best suggestions that I heard, and this rings true to me because I do have other podcasts that I take part in about police work, is go to your local police department. Now, that's not going to be the sponsor. Your local police department isn't going to say, okay, let's shell out some bucks for you to participate in Pageant. What it is going to do is it's going to be a very important networking move. What you're going to want to do is ask for the crime prevention officer. This is the one that goes into the schools and tells kids not to take, lollipops from strangers. This is the one that goes to the neighborhood watch meetings. This is the officer that goes out in the community and does stuff with. They usually have access to that McGruff, character somewhere in his closet someplace. That person is so hooked up with the community, particularly the business community in that area. You want to make friends. You want to make good friends with that person, because that person is going to be able to find you people that are possible sponsors. Also, they're going to be able to hook you up with all sorts of appearances. And if your particular platform happens to be, don't do drugs or something that they're very involved in, dare or, something like that,
Sure.
all the better. All the better for you. And with that connection, you're going to be able to, you'll be at every local fair, you'll be at whatever events they're involved in. Believe me, the police are in every Christmas parade I've ever seen. So they'll get to give you a little hat, and you can go on the back of a convertible in 20-degree weather. That's fun. But it's also a way to get seen, and really a big part of the sponsorship. People want to know that you're going to work, I don't want to go into a complaint, but a lot of times you're not sure if this pageant participant is, quote, for real. Is this one that is going to go out there and work their platform? Are they going to be out in the community? If you're already out in the community, and if you get the police to sit there and vouch for you, that can be very, very important. I've also heard going to fire departments has worked for quite a few young ladies. First of all, fire departments are filled with young men. They just hate it when beautiful young women come walking up. But a lot of them have side jobs too, and sometimes they're like, Bob and Dan's roofing on the weekends, and sometimes they'll sponsor you themselves. But again, very connected with the local community, and that's where you're going to find your sponsors, is getting out in that local community. And I can think of nothing better than helping out the great folks that are in the fire department and police. And quite frankly, if they'll accept your help, you're doing a great thing for the community. You're doing a good thing right there, and you're building up your resume for the pageant. So it's a win all around.
That's a good point. I've never heard that before, Tim. That's a very good idea.
I have seen some of the most amazing sponsor getters. Is that a word? People that are able to get a lot of sponsors that I know here in the Midwest. They tell me this over and over and over again. Get involved in a community. Get to know your mayor by a first name. But I really see as one of the linchpins, and I'm serious, go into the police department, wear the crown, wear the sash, go in there and say, I'd like to talk to your crime prevention officer. I'd like to help them with some upcoming events and get to know the community better. They will open up the door, and I'm not talking a cell door. You don't walk where the bars are, okay? Walk away from the bars. Get yourself into the office, and they'll give you pamphlets and all sorts of stuff. Particularly, I mean, if you're anti-drug, if that's what you're doing, my God, get yourself to the police department immediately. They have more materials that they can load you up They will set you up. You'll be at schools every third Thursday because they've got too much for them to do. They would love to have a volunteer that can do it for them. So you'll get the appearances, but you'll also get to know everybody in the community because that's the person that knows everybody. If there's shoplifting in a local store, they know that person by a first name, and that might be the person that runs the gown store there in town, and now you got it in. So it's very important to get to know your local community.
You know, Tim, too, what I wanted to go a little bit further about that, like, he made a very good point. They want to know you're going to work. And the thing is, even if you have not been crowned and they see you out there and they see you making presentations and things like that, they love their own, they like their peers to come to the high school. You know, you could have just graduated or still be in, you know. So don't you agree, someone who is participating or trying to win that crown, it also would be beneficial for them to reach out to the police and firemen?
I say this when I'm judging. I want to know that you're already doing the job. Yeah, you don't have the title yet, but I want to know you already do the job. Think about your own job interviews. Do they say, boy, I hope you have absolutely no experience because I want to be the one that tests you out.
Right.
No. They want to know that you're out there, you're getting the name out there. Because when you're sponsoring, part of your job when you have a sponsor is to get that sponsor's name out there. If they give you a bunch of money and you sit at home or you're just going out to see a movie every Friday night, that don't cut it. You need to be out there and say, hey, you know, one of my sponsors is Dr. James Lovell. He's our my dentist. He's a great guy. Look at my teeth; they're so white. That's what they want out there. And literally, my dentist is an ex-Pageant sponsor. So he helped out one of our Miss Wisconsins. It works. They know it works. They want somebody that's out there in the community to help sell their name, their business, and they will support you, but they need to know that you're already doing the job.
I agree with you.
That's great.
Excellent tip.
Now, Tim, I have a quick question for you.
Okay.
Now, what do you recommend when you have potential sponsors? I mean, what can you do with them? How can you promote them? What do you think the best way would be to promote that person, that product, that business? How do you get that name out there? How do you promote someone?
Well, number one, we all know that I'm incredibly cheap. I mean, look at my outfit. So the first thing I would do is get a website and tell them you're going to put a badge out there, because that costs, let me think, there's a lot of carry to zero, nothing.
Wait, that's what Trinity says.
Stuff that's free. Give them the free stuff first and say, you know, everybody that comes to my website, like I see, Haisha, you got a great website name there. Just go with the first name. That's perfect. That's the way to go. I think Trinity is going to be nodding her head off to the side. Buyyourname.com. I mean, I own TimKretschmann.com. Trust me, I wasn't worried that another Tim Kretschmann was going to buy that thing. I wasn't worried about it. But if your name is like Allison Smith, you get busy right now and buy that thing, because 50 other people are going to buy it. The other thing is, you don't want somebody that doesn't like you to buy it and then redirect it to a porn site. I'm sorry, but it happens. I've heard it a number of times.
Sure. Wow,
it's,
right.
You know, it's $10 a year. Dole out the cash if you're going to go in the public eye. So putting the name out there on the website, that's an obvious, that's an easy one. I always say on the website, create a couple YouTube videos out there. So let's say it's my friend Dr. James Lovell, which of course is an astronaut, but whatever. You go out to Jimmy Lovell's place and you go out there and have your friend take a camera. I'm sorry, everybody's got a smartphone. Everybody's got a camera that does video. It doesn't have to be the highest quality, but go out there and practice, you know, do a little ad out there. Hey, this is one of my sponsors. He's my dentist too. Look at his smile. What a stud, you know. And put that out on your website. They're gonna direct all sorts of people to your website. Again, increasing that presence that you have, and that's how people are gonna know who you are. And you know, you get one sponsor, and they're like little rabbits. They start multiplying,
they are.
because once they know, hey, everybody's looking at my video. Holy mackerel! They're all coming in here. Maybe they're not buying a new set of dentures, but they're getting a teeth clean. It's all right. It's gonna start building. So I would say YouTube is just a great little thing. Take a video and don't make it long. 30 seconds, 15 seconds. That's all people want to watch anyway. Lord, do I know that. Whenever I put out a long video, you put that out there, put it on your web. People dig it, and put it out there on your Facebook, put it out there on your Twitter, put it on your Google Plus, wherever it is, and promote it. And those sponsors are going to say, hey, I got a real little firecracker here that is working this title like crazy. You should take a look at it and throw a couple bucks her way. It does build on itself.